So I've been looking at the way you can make a hip scarf out of something you've got in the house. So an old t-shirt, some beads. If you haven't got any beads, you could maybe sacrifice some bracelets. The beads off of those would be fine. I've found some old hair clips which just happen to be in the shape of flowers, which you could use as well. Don't have to have those, but they may come in useful. And you could also utilise some Christmas trimmings. So we'll start with your t-shirt that is slightly wider than your hip width. This is going to be your top, and this is going to go round your bottom. So I'm going to cut from one side to the other. You perhaps need to do it under the armpits, but this one's got a logo on it, so I've got to cut a little bit further down than that. So it may take a while because I haven't got my dressmaking scissors. So I've found my dressmaking scissors. Any sharp pair of scissors will do to cut a reasonable straight line across your t-shirt. So you don't need that bit anymore, we've got this bit now. So what we're going to do is take one of these side seams out. Just cut the thick bit out. I'm going to do this side. So it's all the way down. There we go. Just a bit off there. So you've got a long strip now. Hopefully you've got a little bit here to tie into a knot. So that's your beginning of your hip belt there. But obviously we need to put a bit of shape into it and make it a little bit sparkly. But what I'm doing here is I'm just going to have a see. I haven't even got a tape measure, but I'm just going to see how far up I need my little tassels to go. So I reckon it's about that far. So I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 beads worth in length. And I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. So here we have your doubled over hip scarf. So this is the unfinished end, and what I'm going to do is mark up. Remember, I've used 11 beads, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Mark up 11 beads along all the way. Every centimetre. As we go along. And you just do that all the way, the entire length of your fabric. So I've marked my dots all the way along where the fringe is going to be made, and then I'm going to cut about a 45-degree angle. I've already cut a little bit off the corner. 45-degree angle across here. I'm just going to take that bit off. Now I've cut the edges off, like I said, at an angle here, and it's the same the other side. But then what I've started doing is to cut up to where those dots are that I made earlier all the way along. So I'm just going to finish that. Some obviously will be shorter than others as you get near to the edge, and they'll be longer along the middle. You can do this beforehand and then shape the edges, but I just don't see the point. I'm going to do this quickly. You can take a lot longer and do it a lot neater than I'll be doing it. Okay, so I've cut all the fringing all the way across. And I've done that really quickly and really messily, but it still looks not too bad. So if you accidentally cut one of these off, then you could add in some Christmas trimming. Cut a few more off just to make it look like you meant to do it, so it's not just the one. If you successfully got all of your tassels left, then you need to start knotting each one of them so that it's got a little knot right at the very top. So each strand, take it, twizzle it round, make sure that the knot is right at the top. Okay, so it gives it a little bit of a unusual look there, instead of just like you've cut a t-shirt. I'll do a few more and then I'll show you again. So once you've tied all the tassels at the top, don't tie them too tightly, otherwise it'll ruche up, and if you do need to undo them, it'll be more difficult. So just loosely tie them near to the top. So as you can see, it already looks like a belly dancing scarf. So let's have a look. I put in some beads and some other trimmings to make it a little bit nicer. So I've now knotted each one, and I've disassembled the bracelets and found some beads from an old costume, and all I'm going to do is with this hairpin I'm going to get the end of each piece of the fabric and use the hairpin to poke the fabric through and pour the bead onto the fabric right to the top. So here it is, completely put together. I just put the one row of beads on. Of course you can put another bead halfway up, and each strand itself will keep the beads on. I've added that little headband with the flower on, with a safety pin to the side, and there you go. All done. Your homemade